But first, Donald Trump is considering joining Israel's strikes targeting Iran's underground nuclear sites. Last night, the president mobilised his war machines, sending planes to bases, including Prestwick, and moving warships closer to Iran. Dr. Patrick Bury is a former NATO analyst and defence expert at the University of Bath.
We've seen air-to-air refuelling aircraft move. We've seen F-35 strike jets move. We've seen an aircraft carrier start to reposition itself, move towards the Middle East. In particular, in the short term, it's about intelligence, of course, and it's about airstrikes and air power.
Well, Israel is continuing to pound sites in Iran on the sixth day of its offensive, which has led to increasing shortages of fuel, goods and money for Iranians. I'm joined now by Dr. Efrat Sopher, who is chair of the Board of Advisors at the Ezri Centre for Iran and Gulf States Research. Good afternoon to you.
Thanks for having me on, Hayley.
It's good to talk to you. Efrat, how critical do you think the next 24 hours is and President Trump's decision for Israel?
Well, the next 24 hours, I think the entire world is on tenterhooks to see what will happen in the next 24 hours. President Trump's decision on behalf of the United States will be a critical turning point because of the US's capability to strike the Fordo nuclear site.
And explain just the importance of having America on board if that site is to be attacked.
America's capability. America has the B-2 bomber that is able to go deep underground. The Fordo site is very, very deep underground. It was meant to hide Iran's nuclear program. And so Israel and indeed the US, who also does not want Iran to have nuclear capabilities, will be interested in making sure, whether the US is involved or not, that the Fordo site is no longer able to function. What it also signifies here, that the US getting involved, I think, will also help to underscore the international community's concern that Iran would get nuclear capability as well.
Yes, and I mean, how important is sort of eliminating Iran's nuclear capability for Israel? Is that what underpins all of this offensive?
Two prongs. This is one of two prongs that underpin Israel's strategic thinking here. First is Iran's nuclear ambitions, which Iran has threatened to eradicate Israel for over 40 years now, since the Islamic Revolution. And so Israel feels that there is an existential threat through its nuclear capability, as do most of the international community. The second prong is Iran's conventional non-nuclear capability, which consists of ballistic missiles. Iran has about 2,500 ballistic missiles, which are in range to hit Israel, and its UAV, its drone program. This is important for us and our listeners, because these missiles, some of them do have range to be able to hit Europe in the event of a conflict with Iran. And Iran has also been providing these drones and missiles to Russia against Ukraine in the Russia-Ukraine war. And so this proliferation is a problem on many fronts.
And a lot of the Israeli activity at the moment, I suppose, is really been defending the Iranian strikes. I mean, how long can it just continue to do that for?
I think as long as it's necessary. Israel's defense program is one that has been worked on and developed for many years. The civil defense capability is something that is crucial to Israel in saving lives. At the same time, Israel has been, and this is the more the people-to-people element here, Israel has been messaging that this conflict is in no way against the Iranian people. It is against the regime itself. And so Israel, I think, will continue as long as Iran poses an existential threat.
And I mean, this is, as you said, this is a crucial point, really, with America deciding what to do at the moment. What do you make of the sort of rhetoric that we've heard so far of President Trump, calling for ultimately a surrender of the Iranian regime? The Ayatollah has been speaking on state TV just recently, and He's accusing Donald Trump of irreparable harm if the US were to join Israel's strikes. I mean, whose rhetoric, carries the bigger threat?
I think we need to, as you said, look beyond the rhetoric. Rhetoric is something that is very common during times of war. I think that the Ayatollah's capability has been vastly degraded. He has seen most of his military leaders assassinated, and he is in a very precarious position. I think where the concern here is that as the regime becomes increasingly desperate, I worry about Iranian terrorist activity around the world, for example. The IRGC has been very active in mapping out, in placing cells around the world to track dissidents, Iranian dissidents, for example. So this is where the danger lies in Iran. And of course, Iran's ballistic missile program. Israel has taken out about 400 of those 400 rockets have landed in Israel. So Iran still has a stockpile. But I think by far and away, the bigger firepower here is undoubtedly the United States.
And do you think that Israel does see this as a sort of opportune moment, maybe with the Iranian regime weakened? That is there a sense in Israel that maybe it's now or never to really overturn the regime?
Definitely. I think even though it's not a stated goal of the Israeli government, I think within security circles, it is seen that there is a window of opportunity here to change history. And this is something that's also shared with a vast majority of the Iranian people. So we really are at a point where there is a lot of uncertainty, but a lot of potential.
Well, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Very good to talk to you this lunchtime. Dr. Efrat Sopher there, who is chair of the Board of Advisors at the Ezri Centre for Iran and Gulf States Research.